Good afternoon, friends. First of all, wishing everybody a very happy Holi, and I hope this Holi brings prosperity and happiness to everybody. Now, let's start with the way S&P 500 closed on Friday. Now, this is a very extraordinary movement. This is an hourly chart, and you can see in the last hour the market shot up basically, I think, almost 50 odd points on the S&P. But be that as it may, that is the close, and for the moment we have to take it on face value. So the S&P 500 looks poised to make new highs. So having said that, let me first request all of you to like, share, subscribe the channel, and if you want membership services or advice, we have our platinum, gold, silver, diamond, copper uh, memberships which are available. So you can go through the details and see what you like. If you have questions, WhatsApp 98710 or email ashwani_gujral@yahoo.com. Or if you want to just straight away, uh, you know, go to the YouTube channel and click join, choose your service, and you can take it from there. Now, first of all, let's start with the dollar index. Now, dollar index, this is the daily chart. The dollar index is now trading above the 200-day moving average. So definitely there is a strength in the dollar. If we look at the bond yield, the 10-year, again, strong uptrend, now moving sideways. I would think at some point this bond yield would move higher. Now on the Nifty, volatility has been a problem that all of us are dealing with. So the way, I am looking at all of this volatility is that I would like to separate phases of contraction and expansion. Now, again, for people who have not seen previous videos, I call this sort of a corrective phase as a contractionary phase. This contractionary phase has upside, downside, again upside, again strong declines, but on a net basis, the movement is quite slow. So that way, the market is compressing without seeking new levels. And here, this kind of zone which just collapses on you, this I like to call as expansion stroke trend. Now, recently, I have gone through a certain methodology where they are adding 3 phases to the market. So let's go to the whiteboard and understand what that methodology is, and if we can discuss some examples about that. So now here, this sort of phase is taken as a contraction phase, okay, where highs and lows are almost similar. From here, you have a breakout which is called as expansion. Sometimes it can also extend to the other side, and finally the market trends on one side. So the idea here is that you don't operate here. Generally speaking, you avoid this phase also, but you only operate in this phase. What is happening here is that you have this ranging move. It has a breakout. All kinds of retail gets in here, and then a sell-off starts by institutional players, and it results in this kind of a decline. Now, earlier we were doing this just contraction and expansion phase, but I see value in this because often what will happen is that this contraction does not straight away get into an expansion or a trend move. It first goes through this, to the opposite side and gets people trapped. Let's go through some examples by looking at the chart. So let's see what happened at this zone. Now this was a contraction. This happened on, I think, 10th of March, and this was this Shivratri day where the market gapped up, and that gapped up was sold savagely. So this was the expansion, but the moment this mid zone of the contraction was crossed, you had a fairly strong collapse, and a collapse which continued on the downside also. So basically, this did not give you a tradable move, and if you waited, this was basically where you got that collapse. So at this point, and the other thing was that there was very poor institutional buying. Even now there is very poor institutional buying. So what you should expect is that you have this bit of contraction here. This breaks out, and somewhere in this zone where you have the trend line and this previous congestion, the market again starts to collapse, and this is the middle line. And once we start to go below 14,530, you start to get a further decline. the mistake you don't want to make is trying to buy this sort of a breakout and then getting trapped here. If there is no institutional buying, there is no way you can have a sustainable upside. Similarly, on the bank nifty, again we have this contraction. Again, I would think that tomorrow you break out on the upside and then sooner or later you collapse below this 33 400 type of zone and come down. Okay, what can fail this on the upside? I would think what can fail is that all of a sudden FII buying is back and bank nifty starts to show some very large action. Okay, till such time there is no big institutional buying, and I am talking about FII buying. DII buying does not create price. So hence there is, you can't say that, because of this 1,000, 1,500 DII buying, there is great uh, amount of traction, because chances are that you have some window dressing till 31st of March. So that would be the setup that I am watching out for. So for the moment, I am not planning to play the breakout on the upside, but instead looking for a resumption of the downtrend. Why that is also likely is because you have this lower low, lower high pattern which is still intact. So chances are this time you again make a lower high and then you come off from there. So very important that you don't get trapped in this move, but instead you are trying to get this large move. This is what you want. You don't want this. You don't want this. The biggest losses happen in this contraction phase. See, if a market is, you take a position and market is moving sharply in your direction, making money is much more simpler. So having said all of this, let's look at the pivot situation. On a weekly basis, 14,550 is your pivot. Again, 14,530 uh, was the zone where, below which you should be going short based on the contraction zone. Similarly, 33,400 was the line where we were going to get short on Bank Nifty. This pivot is 33,300. So on a weekly basis, you have your level set, and below that, you have to act, preferably after the market breaks out on the upside. Similarly, daily pivot is about 14,500. for Tuesday and 33,365 for Tuesday. So broadly, you have a nice idea of where you have to act. See, the dollar index is extremely high. There is zero FII buying. But if the US markets keep going up, you will keep getting gap ups, but finally those gap ups will not sustain. So on a net basis, you continue to underperform. So unless you start to trade above this trend line very decisively on the Nifty, this trend line breakout occurs say about 14,650, 700 on cash Nifty. Okay, and then you could have a rally back to this 15,200 zone. But I would be very cautious in this rally because unless I see strong participation from banks, I am not keen on believing this rally. I am still trying to play this lower low, lower high pattern, and somewhere here I am looking for a strong move on the downside. Monday, or rather Friday, the first day should have had a 3 to 400 point move on the Nifty, if not 300, at least 250. The first day is the one where you get very strong momentum. But the kind of momentum we saw, the kind of follow through we saw on banks, does not inspire confidence. So the view is clear. Even if we do get breakouts on the upside, I don't think you want to participate there. You just wait and look for continuation on the downside. Okay, do not chase gap ups. Only when the bank nifty starts a serious participation on the upside will you take trades on the upside. Otherwise, you won't, because the momentum on the upside is extremely poor. And as we speak, there are some financial issues which are cropping up in Europe, and Swiss financial watchdog is talking to a certain bank which seems to be in trouble. So Nomura, Credit Suisse, etc. These banks are coming under question. So tomorrow will be a tricky day, and I would think that if this sort of global financial issue picks up, you could have a sell-off post a gap up. So if we start to trade below 14,530, we get short. If we start to trade below 33,400, we get short. That should be it for right now. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor.